Hello, legends, and today we're reacting to Liverpool 2, Real Madrid 5. Hey legends, it's your boy Link, and it's not the most upbeat of intros today because I am pissed off. Literally 5 minutes ago was full-time whistle of Liverpool versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid have just beat Liverpool 5-2, and there's been a lot of stuff circling recently. Klopp out, FSG out, both out, and I'm going to come down a little bit on the line of controversy here, in that if I had to choose, I would keep FSG. FSG, now I know there's been a lack of investment, but when you look at what's happened with Man City and the rule breaking, like, yes, we haven't been able to keep up with Man City in terms of investment, but they've been breaking the rules. The issue here for me, though, is Jurgen Klopp, and it's a lack of... And it's so funny, because when Liverpool got Jurgen Klopp, I said I didn't want him. And the reason I said I didn't want him wasn't because, they burn out in 7 years. I don't believe any of that stuff. It was because I've never, ever liked his big game tactics, his big game substitutions, his also, like, tactical changes in a game. Like, Klopp does not change formation in a game. Barely ever. And he definitely never really goes hell for leather and sticks someone up top like Van Dijk. Now, that has been his biggest downfall. At the moment, Liverpool play 4-3-3. Everyone knows it's 4-3-3 with one CDM. What I would call a Mourinho 4-3-3, because it's that sort of traditional Mourinho shape with, used to have like Makelele at the base and then like Lampard and someone else in front of them. But I'm devastated. Liverpool season's over for me, and it's time. I think it's time for Klopp to walk away, and I don't think it's necessarily a reflection that Klopp isn't a good manager. I don't think it's that Klopp is a bad person or anything like that. But I just think sometimes things have their time, and I just don't feel like it's his time anymore. I just think it's time for a change. It's time to try something different, and I think Klopp has been adamant that he doesn't want to try something different. He wants to play and we did switch to 4-4-2 for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, 4-3-3's back, and he played 4-2-3-1 for about a day last season, and that might be a better option for us right now. Here's the 4-3-3 that I would play most weeks. Like, it's not that hard, right? That's the way to play. I don't know. I think we should be more solid, and I think Liverpool have a real problem. And the real problem is not qualifying for Champions League. That is going to be, like, financially devastating. It is going to be a catastrophe for the club if we don't qualify for the Champions League. Like, financially, it is an absolute disaster. Like, to not be in the Champions League next season, it's horrific. It genuinely would be horrific. And I know Liverpool have improved a little bit in the league, but I think that sort of new manager bounce might be what's needed to get us to the top four. And no one's bigger than the club. I know we always say that about players, like, no one's bigger than the club. No, you're not bigger than the club. Torres wasn't bigger than the club. Suarez wasn't bigger than the club. Mascherano wasn't bigger than the club. Alonso wasn't bigger than the club. Coutinho was not bigger than the club. Sterling wasn't bigger than the club. And nor is Jurgen Klopp. And I think we have to remember that. And I love some of the memories the man's given me. I love some of the things he stood up about. Like, when he gets asked about Vinicius in the the build-up, and he says, like, well, was it racism? Because if it was racism, it doesn't matter how he acts on the pitch, you should never be racist. I love that, Jurgen. The way he stands up for politics, the working man, I love that, Jurgen. The way he stands up for equality, I love that. The way he does, like, he's learnt about the LGBT scene and done, like, pride stuff to try and learn about it. I love that, Jurgen, but I don't love you as manager of Liverpool anymore. And it's sad. I'm sad saying it. Yes, FSG need to find a way to maximise investment. And without Champions League, that's going to be tough because you know, it's like, what, 80, 100 million you'd lose straight away, I think. 80 million, that's a really good player. No, you know what I mean? If you have an 80 million hole in your budget, how do you afford a Bellingham? You don't, is the simple answer. You don't. And without a Bellingham, the problem is as well, is it's a team that is in danger of needing a rehaul. And I think as well, I think the best football managers, for me, they adapt, they evolve, they change. And like, if you look at Ferguson, right? Ferguson's United. There's times they're playing 5 at the back. There's times they're playing 4-4-2. There's times they're playing 4-3-3. There's times they're playing 4-2-3-1. There's times they're playing all these different systems. 4-5-1. Because Sir Alex Ferguson would look at, who can we buy? What's available? Who have we got? Not, I'm going to play 3 midfielders, even to the point that I'm going to stick Stefan Bajcetic in there. And I love the guy. Stefan Bajcetic is absolutely not to blame for anything that's happened at Liverpool right now. He's been our best player this season, probably. Him and Harvey Elliott have been the best too. And I think that speaks volumes about motivation and stuff, because that's what Klopp's supposed to be, the great motivator. So why is it the 2 young lads, the only ones that are actually playing like they should? If Alex Ferguson couldn't get a second number 9, he'd play one up front and make it work. When he had Ronaldo, Tevez, Rooney, all firing, we'll play a front 3. When Van Nistelrooy was a striker, they played to his strengths. When Van Persie was the striker, they played to his strengths. When it was Tevez, they played different. When it was Solskjaer, they played different. You know, literally, you build the team around what you can get sometimes. You can't always get what you want. Mick Jagger's been telling us that since 1968 or whatever it was. And if you can't get what you want, and what Liverpool want is 3 midfielders that can run like fuck. If you can't get that, and we clearly haven't been able to get that, because the last midfielder we bought was Thiago, who again, I think he's great and he helps us do something different in that midfield, but he's not going to compete with Mo Farah in a friggin' marathon, is he? Do you know what I mean? What's the fucking point of that shit? But we need change. And if Klopp isn't willing to give it to us, he needs to go. And I love him. I appreciate everything he's done. I think him as a person, wonderful. But I don't love anyone more than I love this club. And I don't think he's the right thing for the club anymore. I think we need change. I think it's time to go, Jurgen. And I tell you what, it was unexpected. No one 12 months ago was thinking Jurgen Klopp's going to leave in 12 months. Nobody. So the club probably isn't prepared for that. But I tell you who is sat there who would take the job on a 6-month contract to get us to the next season. Steven Gerrard, Rafa Benitez. Either of those for 6 months. Do I think Steven Gerrard's ready to be Liverpool manager? Probably not. But is there someone out there who I would say is the man? Marcelo Bielsa. I tell you what, the problem is again, he needs players that can run. So if you look at the squad we have, the players we have, what could you set up? I do think you could set up a Rafa Benitez style 4-2-3-1. And I know Rafa did evolve and play a bit of 4-3-3 later on, especially at Newcastle and stuff. He did sometimes play 4-4-2. Because Rafa evolves, right? Rafa's played a back five at Liverpool. He's played 4-4-2 at Liverpool. He's played 4-5-1, 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 4-2-4 probably. This Rafa, you know what I mean? He just mad stuff. Like, he's like, oh, Stephen, we need a goal. Go play right back. Like, this Benitez is Benitez. He's like a crazy genius. But I feel like we need someone who's going to come in and they're going to go, right, this is the squad I have. I have no midfielders who can break the lines with a run. I don't have one single centre midfielder that can combine this line of the pitch and the forward line of the pitch. So I'm going to play Roberto Firmino as a number 10. I'm going to play Cody Gakpo as a number 10. I'm going to play Fabio Carvalho as a number 10. Harvey Elliott as a number 10. We have the players that can play as a number 10. Diogo Jota at Wolves played number 10. We have number 10s. We have CDMs. And even if you talk about Jordan Henderson, he's a CDM really for me. Fabinho is a CDM. Thiago is a CM, but he's not someone that's going to run through the lines. He's more of a deeper playmaker for me. We don't have number 8s. Naby Keita, but where is he toward the standard? We don't have a number 8. So why do we play 2 of them? It's like someone's car is missing 2 wheels. That's what our midfield's like. It's like a car with no bloody wheels on. And they keep playing it. They keep being like, no, we play 2 number 8s. Oh no, we'll play Elliott there. He can do the job. We'll play centre half Stefan Bajcetic, and I want to stress that every single game in the under 18s, 23s, everything. He's a centre half. He's playing centre midfield, and he's expected to be the most creative one. Really? That's not fair. He's done bloody well, but it's not fair on him. And Jurgen's put him in that position. It's not fair. He's put the poor kid who is a centre-half by trade. And he said, do you know what? Go play against Luka Modric. What? Really? Oh, yeah, no, go play in the midfield against Luka Modric. You'll be fine. Modric, Valverde. No, and Camavinga, because, you know, he's slow and he's rubbish. Like, if Liverpool don't have the finances to get what Klopp wants, we need to get a different manager that can work with the players he has. We need a manager that can play Darwin Núñez in a system where he's going to get Darwin Núñez in behind. Keep being like, oh no, Núñez plays a 9, but just drop deep. Oh, fucking false 9s. Firmino is a great false 9. But what's the obsession with false 9s? Do you know what I mean? Everyone has to play with a false 9 now. It winds me up. You don't have to play with a false 9 just because everyone else is. Think back to when Leicester won the league a few years ago. 4-4-2. You know? Like, it can be done. And Leicester didn't say... Like, if you ask Claudio Ranieri what's his preferred formation, is it 4-4-2? I don't know if it would be. But wasn't that the best thing he could do with that team? Yes, it was. And I think that's what you have to do as a manager. You have to say, what have I got in the squad? What can I do with it? And it's also who's available. Because, yes, we'd love to bring in Mbappe and Bellingham. It's not going to happen. And especially if Liverpool don't get in the Champions League, which I, for the first time this season, am scared it's not going to happen after that Madrid result tonight. Because they are going to be flat now. They're going to be flat. That second leg is also going to be... a waste of time, basically. You might as well send the under-23s. They might have a bit more passion. The under-23 manager might not insist on 4-3-3 though, so, whoa, that might work. I just can't believe it. I know this is very ranty, and this is probably a very ranty video, but I'm actually upset. Like, I'm not just angry, I'm upset. Like, I'm devastated to see this Liverpool team decline like this. it reminds me of my mum who has dementia. Like the way that it's like visiting her. Like, she's not her, you know? She's not what she was. She's not all there anymore. You know, my mum sometimes doesn't recognise me. She sometimes doesn't recognise anyone. And that's what this Liverpool team feels like. It just feels like it doesn't have an identity. It feels like it doesn't feel like my Liverpool. And that's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch. And I don't want to watch it anymore. I want change. And like I say, I think Steven Gerrard or Rafa Benitez would snap your hand off for 6 months. Is Gerrard ready? You never know if you don't try. Is Rafa ready to come back? You know he is. You absolutely know he is. And if you saw him the other day doing the punditry on the Liverpool game, he knows what Liverpool can do. He knows what Gakpo is capable of. He knows what Núñez can do. I think Benitez would... He'd make us solid, and that's the issue. Klopp has struggled so much to make us solid, and it's like he can't tactically create a team that can defend. It's almost like it's weird because he was a centre-half, but he can't tactically create and coach a team to be able to defend. And he was a centre-half, like I say, but he's like put a massive bit of paper over them cracks by signing the best centre-half in the world and the best goalkeeper in the world. The problem's still, and the best centre defensive midfielder in the world, who is Fabinho, and I still believe it is Fabinho, maybe not on form, but I still believe it's him. He needs to say, what have I got? What can we do? And if he can't coach a team to keep clean sheets, it's time to go. It really is. And you've got to think, like, I think Liverpool have had like 1 league clean sheet in months. Honestly, I don't even know what the stats in that are, but it's going to be bad. Let me look. Literally, I'm going to look whilst filming. Because like, I feel like if you look at Liverpool's results, right, for the men's team, there's 5-2 against Real Madrid. Before that, we beat Newcastle, we beat Everton. Woo! But they're teams we should beat. We are Liverpool. We should beat Newcastle and Everton every damn time. Before that, we lose 3-0 against Wolves. 2-1 against Brighton. 0-0 draw with Chelsea, I can accept. Narrow 1-0 win at Wolves is okay. But then we lose 3-0 against Brighton, 2-2 with Wolves, lost 3-1 against Brentford, 2-1 with Leicester. Like, it's not good enough. It is not good enough. Like, where's the clean sheet? We kept the clean sheet against Chelsea, 21st of January. Is that the last one? Yeah, before the Everton one, we hadn't kept the clean sheet since January, but before that, we hadn't kept a clean sheet since we played Wolves in January as well. But like, it's just, we're not keeping clean sheets at Anfield and stuff. It's just, we are paper thin at the back. There's nothing in midfield, and I don't believe this Liverpool squad is this bad. I don't believe this squad of Liverpool players is the 8th worst squad in the league. I don't believe it. I believe City's squad's better. Arsenal in the form of their lives. But I don't believe, other than City, anyone has a better squad than us. I don't believe it. No one has a better keeper than Alisson. No one has a better centre-half than Van Dijk. No one has a better right winger than Salah. That's 3 players straight away. No one can get near. For me, Trent and Robertson are the best pair of fullbacks. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It can't make sense. And it never will make sense to me. So, Jurgen, thanks for the memories. But it's time to go. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. If you've enjoyed that, you can click up here and you can watch another video of mine. Or if you really love it, or even if you just like it a little bit, go down here and subscribe to the channel. It means you'll never ever miss what is coming up. real soon.